The Chinese African Summit between the 3rd and the 4th of this month. We will be talking about tourism and the Chinese-Egyptian cooperation in that field. And I'm happy to have with me Dr. Rami Samir. He's a tourism expert. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Now, definitely the Chinese market is one of the most booming markets nowadays in Egypt. So how do you see it? And especially in light of the visit of the president to China.
For sure, the Chinese market is very important and overwhelming market in the Egyptian tourism nowadays. And it's very important to know that Chinese tourism is presenting approximately 300,000 tourists per year now, approximately every year. And in fact, in spite of, for sure it's a good number, but still we are aspiring much more because we know that the Chinese tourism to the world is approximately 130 million tourists per year. This means that Egypt absorbs approximately 0.002 of the Chinese world of tourism to the world. This means that our share is approximately one person every 433 Chinese tourists to the world. So this is very little to Egypt, in fact, and we are expecting much more for the Egyptian tourism here from China, especially that we know that our president, our country is doing its best to implement and to support the Chinese economy in Egypt. For instance, we have a lot of products that are that's produced in China everywhere in Egypt nowadays. Whenever we buy something new, we read it's not made in except in China nowadays. So it's we are expecting much more from China as well as support for Egypt because Egypt is supporting also the Chinese economy a lot.
Now, these Chinese travelers are it's a very sensitive market. They have their own special needs. So are they more into the classical tourism or the recreational tourism? And are they more of winter travelers or are they all year long?
In fact, China is a world by itself. China is a world by itself. If we know that 1.4 billion tourists citizens are existing in China, we expect that China is approximately approaching to the fourth of the world. Maybe in 2 years it will be fourth of the population of the world. So China has all the interests, in fact, and the Chinese tourists have all the interests. For instance, the Asian people are usually interested in much more monuments and archaeology than the youth. The youth is more interested in diving, in recreational tourism. So China has everything. Chinese tourist is interested in different things, and normally this way divided. It's divided this way that the old people are preparing for sure the cultural tourism, and the youth are preparing the recreational one.
What about the preparations of Egypt for them? Are we ready for the Chinese market to boom? Do we have enough tour guides and program directors? Do we have enough people speaking Chinese? Because I understand that very few of them would speak English. They mainly speak in their native language. So are we ready to accommodate that market here in Egypt?
In fact, as far as I know, the Egyptian tourism, the Egyptian government is doing its best in everywhere, in every field. To, for instance, the charter is working nowadays. A lot of charters are organized especially from the different Chinese cities to directly to Cairo, to Luxor, to different. So that's important for sure for the supporting tourism. At the same time, I know that the trend of the Egyptian government now is to support the Chinese tourism to Egypt. The president himself has done so many visits to China in order